Hello everybody, this is Jeff from Chandler Avenue and this is my review for Blair Witch. So Blair Witch is the latest survival horror game developed by Bloober Team, the same studio who are most known for bringing you the Lair of Fears game and Observer. Now I said it's survival horror, but it's not really. I would say it's more of a walking simulator with some scripted survival horror parts in it. Like, you don't have a gun or anything. In fact, the only weapon that you actually use is your flashlight for the aforementioned scripted encounters with enemies.
What was that?
So you never really pick up ammo, replenish your health, or worry about being stalked by enemies. So yeah, not really survival horror, but that's not to say that it isn't a really good horror game, because it is. I quite enjoyed playing this actually. I do have some gripes with the game, which I'll get into later, but for the most part, it was a genuinely creepy game with some really tense moments in it. So the gameplay takes place in 1996, 2 years after the original Blair Witch Project movie.
This was my interview, my story.
Your name is Ellis, and you're a detective investigating a missing persons case regarding a 9-year-old child. Oh, and you have a cute little police dog by the name of Bullet, who acts as your companion in the game. He acts more of a waypoint than anything else. There's a lot of him sniffing an item, then you following him to the next destination. He has an action wheel where you can issue different commands, but I didn't really use anything other than the seek command and of course pet. There's a reprimand command which will scald your dog, but why the hell would you want to do that? There's no point in the game where you need to use it. Anyways, that's not to say that he's not a good addition to the game, because he is. Who doesn't like dog companions? I'm also a little bit of a wimp when it comes to creepy games, so it was nice to have someone along for the ride with me, so I never felt too alone. Now this might be a negative for those who really like to crap their pants during these type of games, but for me the pooch was a great addition. Now the missing child plot is kinda just mainly used as a mechanism to drive Ellis forward to go deeper into the woods. I honestly didn't really care about the kidnapped kid at all, because you get absolutely no backstory or development of the character, except for that he's a little boy and was kidnapped by the bad guy and you have to go save him. That's it. Other than a few times on a video cassette, you don't even see him throughout the entirety of the game. I'm pretty sure this was done on purpose. They needed a good reason for you to go wandering around a big scary forest at night just with your dog. So the game's main hook is how crazy you become as you delve deeper into the forest searching for this kid. And it's not only the Blair Witch that's messing with you, you also have a pretty severe case of PTSD caused by multiple traumatizing events that have occurred in your life. And on top of that, you have a relationship which is falling apart to boot.
Could have managed.
Ellis, I can't do this anymore.
What? What is it this time? What, I wasn't smiling enough? Didn't say I love you for 5 fucking minutes?
Jesus Christ, Ellis, do you even hear yourself?
So you really do have a clusterfuck of heavy emotions that you're dealing with, all while this witch is tormenting you throughout the 6-7 hours that it'll take you to complete the game the first time. And this game really takes advantage of the psychological aspect and does a very good job conveying to the player what it might actually be like to go crazy if you're in this situation under these circumstances. With the game purposely making you walk around in circles in multiple parts so Ellis can comment about the subtle differences and constantly questioning his own sanity.
Wait, what? Where'd all the water go? Is this really the right way back? Either I'm going crazy or...
There are also some parts where his PTSD triggers some pretty vivid hallucinations. It's very effective stuff, and I applaud Bloober Team for getting all of these sanity effects done right. The puzzles in the game consist of a few fetch quests which were kind of meh, one of which almost overstays its welcome, involving going back and forth in a rail car to collect items so you can move an obstacle blocking your path, but it was just short enough for you not to roll your eyes at. But the main puzzles require you to find tapes to put in your camcorder and watch, some of which provide plot information, but most of them you need to scrub through back and forth to find a certain spot, for whatever reason affects the real-time world. Typically, you just have to stop the tape when a door is open so you could progress through that closed door. Stuff like that. They were all very easy to solve, but still very effective. I'm also very happy that they didn't abuse the camera aspect too much, like Outlast, which they could have very easily done. It's just kind of there. You do need to use it, but not as much or in the ways that you might think. My only complaint about this game is the bloated last act. Without giving too much away, you're ultimately taken to a house where you spend way too much time in. Things start to get a bit batshit crazy, and you walk around this thing I don't know how many times until you reach the conclusion. It got to the point where I was like, yeah, okay, enough already, I get it, just show me the ending of this game. This combined with some incredibly frustrating stealth parts made me feel that half of this house sequence could have been cut, and it would have been way more effective. In fact, all of those stealth sequences could have been cut and it would have been much better. So there are multiple endings in this game, I think 3. There's a good, bad, and a secret one, and the game actually tricks you into getting the bad ending your first playthrough. It's kind of unavoidable, but I didn't really mind this, because I thought the quote-unquote bad ending was the better one anyway. And there are subtle differences in the endings, but they're not that drastic. They're all quite satisfying though. So that's my review. Despite the bloated last act, I would still highly recommend this game. It was pretty cheap too. I think I paid $30 Canadian on Steam. Very good value, and I hope Bloober Team does a follow-up. Alright, thanks for watching.